確かにあの時私のそばにいたいつだっていつだっていつだってすぐ横で笑っていたなくしても取り戻す君を I will never leave.
Today's question is Satoru Gojo the strongest sorcerer in Jujutsu Kaisen? In short, no. He's outscaled by somebody more powerful. Manga readers, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Fair warning, this video will contain spoilers for the end of the Culling Games arc and the Shinjuku Showdown battle. If you are anime only and care about spoilers, click off the video now. Now, for everyone else, let's get to the facts. So first, we'll go through each of Gojo's abilities to help us base his strength compared to everybody else. His physical ability. Satoru Gojo has proven to be an expert in hand-to-hand combat, showing his prowess in many fights. One of his best examples being his fight against Miguel in JJK 0. Gojo has shown immense speed and reflexes. He beat Jogo almost effortlessly in hand-to-hand combat, who could throw hits faster than the human eye could perceive. Gojo's sheer speed aided him greatly in the Shinjuku Showdown itself. Due to Reverse Curse Technique, or RCT, Gojo can constantly regenerate lost limbs or injuries. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what is Reverse Curse Technique? RCT is essentially the reversal of cursed energy to positive energy, acting as a sort of healing factor. Gojo's RCT can be used so fast that it seems almost instant. Even in life or death scenarios, Gojo has shown he's able to think very strategically. The best example was when he was fighting the disaster curses during the Shibuya arc. He popped his domain for 0.2 seconds, incapacitating all enemies and bystanders for 299 seconds, in which he killed all 1,000 of Mahito's transfigured humans. Gojo has many things going for him in his life, one of which being his jujutsu-related techniques. Gojo has insane amounts of cursed energy being aided by his family's birthrights, that being the Limitless Curse Technique. And another thing that he was born with along with the Limitless Technique, the 6 Eyes. Now we're going to go into the specifics of each and every one of Gojo's specific curse techniques. The Limitless Technique. The Limitless Technique grants almost absolute control over space through cursed energy manipulation at the atomic level. This technique has 3 basic forms, as well as a non-standard form beyond this. Next on the list of Gojo's techniques, Infinity. Infinity is the neutral form of the Limitless Technique. This is the ability to slow things down to almost a standstill. Truth of Infinity is you are still moving, it just seems as if you've stopped because the space between the target and the attacker is growing infinitely. This grants Gojo the ability of flight and teleportation. Curse Technique Lapse Blue. This is the increased version of the neutral Limitless Blue. By Gojo amplifying the limitless and negative energy, it creates a vacuum that sucks in any existing matter. This is what we refer to as blue. There is also the maximum output, which is essentially the Lapse Blue, but amped up on steroids. Lots and lots of steroids. Reversal Red. Red is, in short, the exact opposite of Lapse Blue. Gojo activates the divergence or reverse of his infinity. By doing this, he creates a repulsive force. Think of it like a magnet. A really big, really deadly magnet. Reversal Red excels in pushing Gojo's problems away. This way, he doesn't have to run from his problems. They move away from him. Not by choice, though. Hollow Purple is the
Purple! See, that's my max level purple.
Combination of the absolute reversal and the absolute vacuum. These combine to be absolute zero, erasing all matter that is hit by purple. I bet you never thought you could meet your end by the color purple. Gojo yet again proves you wrong. Infinite Void is Gojo's domain expansion. Or
マジか。領域展開。無料空想。
Infinite Void overloads the target's mind with his sure hit effect. It takes all sorts of information and force feeds it straight through the target's mind, effectively making you brain dead if you don't have any form of reverse curse technique. If you were to use this ability on a regular person for slightly too long, we could either go brain dead or perish. A simple domain is a domain with no curse technique applied to it. This is the instant counter to most domains, other than a stronger domain. Falling Blossom Emotion is much like Sukuna's Hollow Wicker Basket. It's a domain counter. Falling Blossom's counter is nullifying or weakening domain's sure hit effects. Not much is known about the Six Eyes. It seems as if it can give away someone's curse technique if Gojo is looking at them long enough. This is evidenced in the hidden inventory arc when he's fighting the Paper Bag Man.
What did you just do?
They're not disappearing! Which is the real one?
Each one is the real one. Infinity. It's Achilles and the tortoise. Read a book. Your stupid is showing. Your technique allows a maximum of 5 clones, and you're always free to decide which of the clones is the main body.
How do you know what my technique is?
Unfortunately for you, I have real good eyes.
It's also said that the Six Eyes combine with the Limitless technique to help provide Gojo with the tools to master the technique. Now on to reasons proving his sheer strength. Warning now. This segment will contain major spoilers for the Shibuya Incident arc. Kenjaku and the Disaster Curse's first priority was making sure Gojo was sealed. To do this, they sent Jogo and Hanami. Even in a 2v1, they failed to even damage Gojo. Mahito then surrounded Gojo with transfigured humans.
A function for everybody.
Band for band there, fuck nigga.
Band for band?
Oh, what's this smell?
That's a whole $300 bottle of Dior slathered on a Gucci button-up. Something your broke-ass nostrils ain't accustomed to. But you want to go band for band with nothing but a teak wood essence.
Oh, it's so strong.
Not the Bath and Body
Get your
Works.
paper!
This caused Gojo to use his domain for 0.2 seconds, weakening him enough to be captured. Now, let's look at the numbers. After Gojo pops his domain expansion, he kills approximately 1,000 transfigured humans. Gojo also kills the Disaster Curse Hanami. We'll put the transfigured humans separate, but for the sake of numbers, both groups will be included against Gojo. Now that Gojo is in a weakened state, Pseudo Geto, or Kenjaku, surprises him.
Yeah, Satoru. Huh? 重力が感じられ
Now, for those of you who don't care about spoilers, Shinjuku Showdown, otherwise known as Sukuna vs. Gojo, Round 2. Now, just to preface, Gojo did get some major buffs as well as a surprise attack, and we will go over those as his assets. Using Utahime's solo Forbidden Area technique ritual, they boost the power of a Hollow Purple to 200%. Then Gojo fires it all the way to Shinjuku. Now it's time for the duel of the strongest sorcerer of today and the strongest sorcerer of the Heian era. The fight begins after that initial Hollow Purple by a clash of domain. The clash of Malevolent Shrine and Infinite Void is intense, but due to Malevolent Shrine being an open barrier domain, it overpowers Infinite Void. After his domain shatters, Gojo pours all of his cursed energy into his reverse curse technique to give the absolute maximum output he can. Somehow, the reverse curse technique allowed Gojo to restore his exhausted energy he used on the Limitless. This yet again proves how Gojo is just different, because due to all known knowledge, this should not be possible. Reverse curse technique should only be able to heal you, but Gojo manages to use it to restore his energy. Due to the confusion of this, Sukuna drops his guard, allowing Gojo to get in close and hit him with red at maximum output. This allows Gojo to be out of range of the Malevolent Shrine. With this opening, Gojo uses Unlimited Void again, while Sukuna extends the range of his Malevolent Shrine. As he does this, he proves his immense battle IQ. Gojo decreases the attack potential of his domain and increases the resilience of the outside of it. Sukuna then enacts his first of many binding vows. Sukuna's first binding vow. Sukuna sacrifices his sure hit effect on his domain in exchange for more overall slashes. Using this, he breaks Infinite Void down, but Gojo is ready. Gojo uses Falling Blossom Emotion to negate all the slashes, just long enough for him to restore his burnt-out domain. Gojo opens his domain yet again, but surprising everyone, he shrinks it to the size of a sports ball. This small barrier's increased density makes it way more resistant to the Malevolent Shrine's slashes. After 3 minutes of this, both barriers fall. This makes Gojo feel uneasy, however. In case you haven't been paying attention, Sukuna has yet to make use of the 10 Shadows technique. Gojo and Sukuna both replenish their exhausted techniques yet again. Gojo pops his domain again, but just barely faster than Sukuna can pop Shrine. Right when Gojo is about to crush Sukuna's heart, Maharaga is summoned, and then he adapts to the Infinite Void. After that, Infinite Void shatters for a 4th time. Gojo is unfortunately not able to use his domain again, and his nosebleed grows worse. It's here we learn how Gojo is regaining energy for his domain. He was engraving it in his brain, then healing his brain with RCT. Think of it like he's reversing his lobotomy that he's given himself. Apparently though, Sukuna has been doing the exact same thing throughout the whole fight, but he couldn't do it as fast as Gojo. That is why he lost the final domain clash. It is then Gojo lands a strong blow, officially announcing round 2. Maharaga's wheel turns while they fight. If it turns 5 whole times, then Sukuna will have successfully adapted to infinity. So it's now a race against the clock. Round 2 is effectively a race for Gojo to dish out as much damage as he can, and Sukuna has to do his best to survive as much damage as possible. Gojo switches his technique to only use blue throughout the beginning of this round, so Maharaga cannot adapt to reversal red. The wheel spins twice. Now, Gojo uses good timing to hit Sukuna with red, then ending it up with a powerful black flash. This incapacitates Sukuna, causing the wheel to fall from his head. Just when the battle seems over, Maharaga's wheel turns again, and he takes over fighting Gojo while Sukuna recovers. Maharaga has effectively adapted to infinity and slashes Gojo's shoulder. With this, we mark the second major turning point in the battle. By now, Gojo is filled with satisfaction finding a worthy opponent in Sukuna and Maharaga. Sukuna then summons the merged beast Agito to fight for him, making this a 3v1. In that moment, Gojo realizes he has to hit Maharaga with a purple to make this fight end anytime soon. It is then that Sukuna uses World-Cutting Slash, which he achieved with another Binding Vow. By applying the Binding Vow to his dismantle, Sukuna gains the World-Cutting Slash, with the requirements being 4 activation words, a hand sign, and to point his arm. By striking Gojo in the middle, he bisects him, snapping Gojo like a Kit Kat bar. Now that you know how that battle goes, let's get into every crutch Sukuna needed to win. Now, I'll be the first to admit, this fight was pretty evenly matched from the beginning. Now, at the end of the first round, Sukuna had his first use of 10 Shadows, summoning Maharaga for the Wheel of Adaption, as well as backup. Sukuna's first binding vow of 2 within the battle was removing Malevolent Shrine's guaranteed hit effect within Unlimited Void's effective range, and narrowing the effective range. In return for that sacrifice, he got to increase the amount of slashes he can send out at the target of his choice. This was a very smart move because Sukuna realized if he couldn't break Infinite Void in time, he would be absolutely done for. Now, Sukuna's second binding vow. The warning that Sukuna is about to use a world-cutting slash is hearing him say these words: Dragon Scales, Repulsion, Paired Falling Stars, in that order. This becomes one of his most powerful attacks. Sukuna's first clutch in the battle was summoning Maharaga. However, after that, his second big clutch was making this 2v1 into a 3v1 by summoning the merged beast, Agito. Agito is a beefed up Nue. He is made by combining Nue, the Great Serpent, Tiger Funeral, and Round Deer. These are all obviously other Shinigami of the Ten Shadows technique. With all that being said, unfortunately Satoru Gojo is not the strongest sorcerer of all time. That title will of course go to the King of Curses himself, Ryomen Sukuna.